Hello, to go further in making user forms, SoftyFlow allows you to create your business rules with the least effort. In previous videos, we have done separately our form as a web interface and its process, but we should necessarily link this too so they can have a sense in building a web application. If you remember, we talked about steps. Each step in the process can be matched to a screen. What is a screen in SoftyFlow? Let's say that's a part of the web interface with specific widgets. You can add one or many screens in the web interface, from the settings by providing names and screens order. Furthermore, you can specify which widgets to add in which screen using the enable and disable buttons below in the panel. As you can see, we manage the visibility of some buttons in the web interface, so that we can visualize just the needed buttons in each screen. At an initial stage, we used just the available and visible features in the second screen for submit, save and close buttons, but you can also disable a widget in a screen as you can make it required. Last but not least, SoftyFlow is built and based on Vue.js 2. It uses the same lifecycle hooks and it offers you scriptable functions to control that functionality. You can manage these features in the scripts partition from Web Interfaces settings. First one is the functions part. Here, you can define a JSON object to hold all your functions or methods that could later be used throughout the web modular interface whenever needed. Watch. While computed properties are more appropriate in most cases, there are times when a custom watcher is necessary. That's why Vue provides a more generic way to react to data changes through the watch option. This is most useful when you want to perform asynchronous or expensive operations in response to changing data. Watch is briefly a more generic way to observe and react to data changes on an instance. Variables, a list of attributes that are exposed to use on the user interface. It's the data object for the component instance. A good idea would be to have here just a plain object that represents component data. Computed properties are cached based on their reactive dependencies. A computed property will only reevaluate when some of its reactive dependencies have changed. They are by default getter only, but you can also provide a setter when you need it. Filters define the filters that can be used to apply common text formatting on data. The filters function always receives the expression's value, the result of the former chain, as its first argument. Css Styling. Define your own custom CSS styling for furthermore control of the user interface display, where you control the color, font, the size of text, the spacing between elements, how elements are positioned and laid out, what background images or background colors are to be used, different displays for different devices and screen sizes, and much more.